Question is for you. Which Caribbean icon, political or otherwise, do you most admire and why? You have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
I believe in democracy. I believe in an enlightened press, a free press, an enlightened electorate produces progress in any country. And from my travels around the Caribbean, I would think that I'll be puzzled as to decide between St. Lucia and Barbados. But most of the islands in the Caribbean are very democratic because there's very little corruption that you can find in places like Barbados because the people are very much informed and the press is very vibrant. But you have a free press, an informed electorate, you'll have a progressive country. For a small island like Barbados, the 166 square mile territory, the standard of living, the standard of politics, and the benefits to society generally are immense. And we need to admire that. In St. Lucia, there's also much advancement.
Could you complete your sentence, please?
Yes. In St. Lucia, I've been around those islands as a ship's captain for some years. And I've seen St. Lucia move from abject poverty to ultimate wealth and affluence. And that wealth and affluence has been spread among the people of St. Lucia. So I admire those two islands, maybe because they're neighbors and maybe they're one people. Barbadians and St. Lucians interact considerably. But those are the two islands that I admire most in the Caribbean.
Okay, but based on your political experience and on your travels throughout the Caribbean, is there any person, whether politician or otherwise, you most admire and why?
In the Caribbean, yes. I think there's more than one person I admire.
Well, just give us the one you admire most.
I admire Ken Anthony of St. Lucia. And I admire...
Sorry, could you briefly explain why you admire Mr. Anthony?
I admire Mr. Anthony because he has been able to be very humble, although he is extremely educated. He's been a very humble man. He has been able to live down with the grassroots people. And that's why I admire him.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hughes. Mr. Davis, could you respond to the same question, please? Is there any Caribbean icon, political or otherwise, that you most admire and why?
Yes, I believe that Bob Marley was, in my opinion, he's not a politician, but I think he did a great service to Jamaica politically, and I admired the event in history where Michael Manley and Seaga were brought together, and I think that was a turning point in the politics of Jamaica, and it shows that you do not have to be a politician to impact the political process. Being a singer, a reggae singer in that light, and a world-class singer who put the Caribbean on the map global in terms of music, and he was able to calm down the political pressures, the violence that plagued Jamaica in those early years after independence. So I believe that Bob Marley was probably the person that I most admired, and I think that event in particular where he brought those two candidates together stands out in my mind for eternity.
Okay. Has that Caribbean cultural icon made any significant impact on your life personally?
Yes, the music of Bob Marley is very inspiring to me and to a lot of people. I think he was divinely inspired to write the songs in the manner that he did, and they are very relevant today. The whole aspect of some people say he prophetic. The song Nuclear War, that is a very song that is dear to me. The song about the war until the philosophy which holds one race superior and another inferior. Those lyrics, just a few lyrics in many of his songs. I believe that he was one of the greatest people in the Caribbean and one of the greatest people in the world, period. And definitely he has impacted my life.
Based on the lyrical content of Bob Marley's songs, when you compare it to the lyrical content of songs that young people listen to today, what advice would you give out to young people who might be listening into this program?
Yes, there is no comparison to the lyrics and the structure of Bob Marley's song in the modern artists we have today. We believe that Bob Marley can be an inspiration for young artists in Anguilla. We have a lot of talented musicians, actors, and many other aspects of the arts in Anguilla. So once given the opportunity, I think Bob Marley has laid the foundation for the advancement of Caribbean music, and we in Anguilla, I believe, we have the natural talents to create a unique music genre that can promote Anguilla internationally the same way that Bob Marley has done for Jamaica.
Thank you very much, Mr. Davis. That brings us to the end of this formal debate, and I would ask the audience to give both candidates a rounding applause. Thank you very much, audience. You have been a wonderful audience. You have not been disrupting the proceedings here this afternoon. And I want to, on behalf of the Debating Society, thank the two candidates present, Mr. Brent Davis from the Anguilla Progressive Party and Mr. Hubert Hughes from the Anguilla United Movement, for being here and so ably participating into tonight's debate. I am sure that all of us would have gained from your presentation this evening, and I hope that the listening audience also found it interesting and informative. At this point, I would like to, both of you, to take the opportunity to present in 1 minute your closing statements.